Hi Lambda class, welcome to HDCC 105, the first class of the Design Cultures and Creativity Honors Citation. I'm really excited to work with you this semester. Before we begin though, you will all be setting up WordPress portfolios as a part of the work that you do in this class. We are going to keep a log of all the projects that you build throughout the semester and display those in a public-facing web page. So that's what the WordPress portfolio is going to do. It's going to be something that you take out with you as you go and interview for internships or jobs. This is a place where you can show people the kinds of work that you do. And in the WordPress portfolio, you're not going to simply post the final products that you do, but I encourage you to also post the process. That's one of the things that employers have told me over and over again, is that they're really interested in people who can demonstrate how they get where they're going, not simply what they produced when they got there. So if you can keep track of your work as it goes along, the revisions, the failures, the ideas, and log these in your WordPress portfolios, it's going to really demonstrate a kind of thinking that is unique to DCC. And that's what we're going to do throughout the semester. So I'm going to get started here with our WordPress portfolios. And we're going to begin by looking at WordPress.com. WordPress is a free website platform where you'll be able to build your portfolios here and then hopefully carry these on with you after you're done with DCC. This portfolio that you're going to build through WordPress.com is also going to be what you're using in your DCC capstone project. So next year, in the spring of your sophomore year, you're going to be using this website for the work that you do in HDCC 209, the capstone course, where you'll log the work that you do. So go ahead and navigate to WordPress.com, and we're going to go ahead and click Start Your Website. And you can create an account using Google. And here you can use your UMD account, and I've already got one set up. It's going to ask, it already connected for me because I've logged in with my UMD email account before. So you can do that, or you can log in with a Gmail. I encourage you to use UMD while you're here to be able to track that. And what we're going to do next is type the domain. So this is the web address or URL that you want to use for your website. And what I'd like you to do is to be able to use your name or some version of your name, something that has a professional presence to it, not simply something that you find quirky and fun. We're trying to create a professional public-facing profile. So whatever that is, kind of figure out what you can use. For this class and workshop, I'm just going to type in Lambda Workshop. That's what we're working on. Now, WordPress is going to try to sell you a bunch of things along the way, but trust me, it's entirely free. We're not going to buy a URL for this. Instead, underneath these two options, you'll notice down here it says lambdaworkshop.wordpress.com, and it's free, and that's what we're going to use. So whatever you typed in, like for me, I could put in jasonfarman.wordpress.com, and that should be free, or some version of it if somebody else had taken my name. I could come up with a different version of my name in order to do that and choose the WordPress.com option. So I will select that. And now it's going to say what kind of plan is right for you. Actually, I don't want any of these, and neither should you. You don't need to do that. We want to start with a free site. So at the top here, pick a plan, and we're going to just say skip that. Hooray, your site will be ready shortly. Okay, your site has been created. So this is called the dashboard of WordPress. This is where everything is going to be posted, and it's very intuitive. It's got this backend that looks a lot like email, and actually publishing web pages is a lot like simply putting things into an email box and hitting send. So we're going to go ahead and click Get Started, and we're going to name our site. And here it's going to say, what site title do you want? For this, I'm just going to call this Lambda Workshop Portfolio, and you could say so-and-so's portfolio, your name's portfolio. And it's going to, almost done. Every time you make a change, you need to click Save Settings. Okay, so we don't need a tagline for ours at this point. The time is there, so let's go ahead and return home. And it's going to say, do we want a menu? Actually, what we're going to do next is to go ahead and change the layout, the overall layout of the of what we're working on and the overall look of it. So there are a couple of ways to do this. Under Design over here, I opened up this menu and I wanted to choose Themes. The current theme is called Heaver, and what I actually want to choose is Rockfield. And you're going to follow along with me at this point. What I'd encourage you to do is once we walk through this, go back through the themes, find one that you like, and choose a theme that fits your goals. We're going to choose Rockfield for now. And we're going to go ahead and click Activate this design. Yes, activate Rockfield. And it's going to activate it. And let's go ahead and we can view the site at this point. And right now what it's done is it's auto-filled all of this with existing content that I can go in and replace at this point. So I'm going to go back to my site. And it said, do you want to edit homepage? And that's something we can go ahead and do. Welcome to your website. And it's going to kind of walk you through. You can edit your content, edit the placeholder, and preview as you go. And let's go ahead and get started. So what I want to do first is change the title of this. So right now it says our food experience. And here we can kind of jump over. This is the very first thing that people see on the web page. So I can click on this and I can highlight the entire thing, and I can just call this Jason's DCC portfolio, and that is set for me there. And now if I click on the image back here, if I just kind of click anywhere, over in this corner here, I can move the image down, I can change the alignment of it, I can change the content position, and here what I'm going to do is actually replace this. And we can open the media library, and essentially what I'm going to do is add an image from my computer. So what I'm going to do at this point is go to, I want to show you one thing that we're going to use quite a bit, where you can go to Advanced Google Image Search. And I'm going to find, let's say, a University of Maryland picture. And I'm going to make sure that it's large enough. I'm going to go larger to MP for this, any color, and you can do usage rights. I can filter it by commercial use, use or share, edit, modify, etc. Now I'm going to do an advanced search here, and let's go ahead and click on this one. This is 1920 by 1080. That's the pixel ratio for that one, so it's a pretty good one. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to open the image in a new tab. And now I've got this great image. I'm going to go ahead and save it to my computer. Keldon Mall. So advanced Google image search is great for websites. You really need high resolution images for the kind of work we're doing. And then when we jump into Photoshop next, high resolution imagery is essential. You can't do good work if you don't have good quality images. So that's a great way to find some good quality images here. So I'm going to add new here. And let me jump over to where that McKeldin Mall image is. It's uploading. And now I'm going to go ahead and insert that. Great. All right. And now what I'm going to do is hover, if I kind of scroll down here, it says welcome to Rockfield. And what I'm going to do is kind of hover beneath it until I see a plus sign, and then it says add block. So here, that's WordPress is largely driven around content blocks. So if I wanted to add things either above or below or even change this, Welcome to Rockfield is a block. I can click on it, I can adjust it, I can change the size of it, etc. if I highlight things. So that's a block in and of itself, and if I click away from it and then hover beneath it, I can add my own block. And what I'm going to do is find adding media and text here. So you can kind of see it gives you some options here, and you can search for a block. And I can browse all of the different blocks and look for a particular kind of block. And that's what, let me just step back and do that over again. So I'm going to hover over. I'm going to browse. You can actually do browse all, because we're going to look for a very particular kind. We're going to look for media and text. Okay, and here I can upload a picture to the left and something on the right here. So what I would like you to do here, just for the work that we're doing at this point, is go ahead and upload a picture of yourself. So I'm going to find a picture of myself that I will upload there. And here I'm going to insert my bio. Jason Farman is, etc., etc. And you can tell me a little bit about yourself here. And here I can go ahead and change this to about me. Okay, and then once I'm happy with that, I go ahead and click update, or you can preview it, etc. And I can even then go over here. Let me refresh this. Okay, about me. And you know, depending on the amount of content I have, your bio can be very short or it can be long, and it looks like we might have some space down here to put it if you so desire. Let's go ahead and now start working on the portfolio section of this. So here's the visual editing section. You can just click on things, get rid of them, add them, change them. But in order to get to the dashboard, that's kind of a different beast. So I clicked on the W in the upper left corner, and then I clicked View Pages. And it sent me back here, and here are the pages for the website that I'm working on. Okay. So one of the things that we will need to do is to get the portfolio up and running here for this. Under Manage, we want to go to Settings. And then there is a writing button here at the top. And underneath that, we have the ability to toggle on portfolio projects. And that's what we're going to use. So I went under Manage, I opened up the Manage, I went to Settings, and then Writing, and then Portfolio Projects. And you can pick the number that you want to display. And I'm going to go ahead and click Save Settings. Those have been saved. And what that has done now is under Site, I have an option that says Portfolio now. So that's what we are going to do. And let me see, I'm gonna just make sure that we, okay, now this is actually a good time to actually publish your site, just to make sure that it exists. So if you go home, go to My Home, click on Launch Your Site, and go ahead and press Launch Site. And it's gonna try to get you to purchase again, and we're just gonna click Skip Purchase. And we're going to go to Continue with Free Site. We're not going to pay for a monthly plan. And then it says, hooray, your site will be ready shortly. Okay, you launched your site. It's ready to go. And now I can see it. That's really important. If you didn't do that step, it would say that your website is still being built, and I wouldn't be able to see what you're working on. So now under site, we have a portfolio. So let's go ahead and click on portfolio. And we're going to say add new project. And the very first project we're going to do in DCC is to create a typographic poster that expresses your definition of design. How do you define design? And we will place that poster as well as the inspiration posters and some context about it onto your portfolio here. So I've clicked new project, and what I'm going to do here is go ahead and just say poster. And you can add a block. Depending on the kind of block that you want to put in. You could do image, slideshow, tiled gallery. You can kind of place in anything that you want at this point. You could do, again, the media and the text. So let's say that, let me pick a poster here from last semester. Okay, let me just scroll through, and I'll choose Fiona Long's poster, for example. Okay, and now we're going to talk a little bit about this poster. And one of the things is, if you haven't yet gotten to the place where you're ready to describe it in detail and all of the different work that you've done, we're going to put some placeholder text, and we're going to do that from a website called lipsum.com, which is just a lorem ipsum generator. Designers use lorem ipsum all the time to put in some dummy filler text until they're ready to use either real text or get content from their client. So if you need a placeholder to say, client, here's where your content's going to go when you give it to me. So I'm going to choose 2 paragraphs here. It's going to generate some lorem ipsum for me. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that and copy it. Go back over to here, and I'm going to paste that in. All right, and let's say I don't like the size of it, or I can kind of change things around. I can change it by different kinds of fonts that I could use. All right. So here is that, and maybe I want to put a gallery right here to show my inspiration posters. And let me just kind of pick a couple of posters to put in. So maybe these are some of the inspiration posters that I want to display along with this. So I'm going to go ahead and hit publish. And again, you can just insert some temporary images for the time being until your project is launched. And let's go ahead and publish that. Okay, the other things that I want to do here, I am going to, so my project is now live. We can take a look at it. I'm going to open this in a new, or open this here. All right, looks good. Okay, if I go back here to project, there's also a couple of other things I can do. I can set a featured image where I will select it from my media library. I'm going to choose Fiona's poster and insert that as my featured image. I can also do project types where I can add a new type, and this will be graphic design, for example, where I'm going to add a new project type, and now I can organize things around different kinds of projects that I will do. And I can add some project tags such as typography, poster design, things like that. I can have the permalink here where I have a URL slug, which you can kind of customize as well. I can have an excerpt. So the excerpt is where the default for WordPress is to give the first, I don't know, 100 words or so as an excerpt as a preview for people. And you can actually change that excerpt to have very specific things here where I can say, here is the poster I designed for the project. You know, things along those lines. And now I'm going to go ahead and update it. Okay, let's go ahead and view the project. Okay, now what it did is once I had that featured image inserted, you can see that it places that as like this huge starting place for the website. So you can decide if you like that look or not, if you want sort of the big, bold entry into that, or you can change it and just have it be the website. You can also create a cropped version in Photoshop that you upload as your featured image if you only want like a snippet as a header for this. But right now the header is this big poster, which I'm happy with for the time being. I can go back and change my mind later if I want to. Okay, let's go ahead and go back to our dashboard. And I've got that set up, and you're going to create all of your projects here. And what you're going to do every time when we have a new project for DCC 105 is to go here to Portfolio, add new project, and do that same process all over again. Now the next step is to create the supporting pages for the website. So under Site, we're going to go to Pages, and we've got a blog, contact, etc. So you can change that. You can change your About Me, where you can go in here and add your details. I can change this image. I can put, again, the picture that I had of myself here. And then I can kind of, again, put some lorem ipsum here. Maybe get rid of that second paragraph. Okay. And I will update that. Let's go ahead and go back and let's create our menu. So if we go to Design and Customize, it's going to load the customizer for this. And we're going to choose Menus. Right now we've got Home, Blog, About, etc. So we're going to go to Menus, Primary. And we have our About page there, we have our Contact, and I can add items, or I can add projects, and I can do all projects. And I can rename this actually as well, so I can click on this, and instead of all projects, I'm going to say portfolio. And I'm going to drag that up right underneath this. And I'm going to get rid of blog. I'm just going to have about and contact. And then let's go ahead and save the changes for the time being. Okay, let's go ahead and go back. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the main page here. So I clicked on Lambda Workshop Portfolio at the very top. And here it says Discover Our Menu. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that text. Sorry. First I have to click Edit. That will help. And it's going to send me to that visual editor. So Discover Our Menu, I'm going to change to my portfolio. And again, I'm going to click on this background image and replace it with, maybe again I'll use different, maybe I'll just use that poster image again as a good sample. Okay. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hover, I'm going to click on this little plus sign here, and I'm going to add a new block where I can create different menu items for the kinds of things, visualizations of the kinds of projects that I'm going to do. And let's say layout, grid, 3-column layout is what we're going to choose. Now we've got these 3 things here. So I'm going to click on the first plus sign, and I'm going to add paragraph text. And I'm going to go ahead and write the word poster. And I can center that as well instead of it being there. I can also change the size of it to a heading. Heading 2 is good, and again I'll need to align center one more time. Okay, so I've typed the word poster here, and now what I'm going to do is insert an image of that poster. So I'm going to add a block here, and I'm going to browse all again and look for image block. I'm just going to insert an image. I'm going to upload the, I'm going to select an image from my media library, the poster that I've used so far. Great. Okay, so that's what I've got so far. And now what I want to do is actually create a link to the poster page itself for when people click on either the word poster or the poster itself. I want to go to that particular page. And so I can link in the URL and open it in a new tab. And what I need to do at this point is figure out what that URL was. Let me go ahead and save what I've got here. I'm going to go ahead and update what I have. I want to refresh this. Let me go to that portfolio. I'm just on the new tab where it's got that poster project. I'm going to go ahead and copy that URL, and now I'm going to add the link. I don't need to open it in a new tab. I'll hit enter, that's where it's going to go, and same thing here for the link. So I can do attachment page, media file, or a URL, which is what I'm going to do. So now when I update it, and let me go home. So here's about me, and then when they scroll in, it will take them to that poster page. Okay, so that's how you're going to set up your portfolio, and you'll add new things. For example, let me go ahead. The second project, for example, is going to be a prototype. So I can highlight that text, type it in, and I can change it from paragraph to heading. I can center it, and then go ahead and add in an image. Select an image. Let me just put in a temporary one from our media library here, just as an example. I'll insert that there. And then I can similarly add URLs for both of those items, and then add a third, and then I can go down below that. I can add more. I can kind of create a mini version of my portfolio for people to see at a quick glance, for example. And let me go ahead and update. And I'm going to go back to my dashboard. I wanted to show you a couple of things. When it comes to WordPress, pages that we've created here, like contact, about, are evergreen. They're things that don't tend to change very often. You want those to be places where you put your content that is going to be lasting all year long, for example, like how to get in touch with you. Posts, on the other hand, if you wanted to update people regularly and create a blog, here it's got a blog for you that's going to gather your posts and put them in there. You can rename it from blog to something else. But posts are designed to be updates, to be things that are happening in the moment. So you can use that for those kinds of things. There are ways that you can back up, customize, you can add plugins, etc. But for the most part, this is the style of what we're going to do. What I'd like you to do at this point is to go in and make sure that your web page has a look that fits with what you like, as well as has an About Me section. It's got the portfolio section set up, as well as a portfolio in the menu that I can link to. And you can just put some temporary images in for now. And then I want you to go in and get rid of things that you don't need. You can adapt these in Rockwell or Rockfield however you see fit. If you want to put your contact information here at the very bottom, I would highly recommend that. Maybe change this into a contact option for you. And maybe you get rid of book your table entirely, and sample menu. Just get rid of those things entirely by hovering over them and hitting remove. So go ahead and do that. Get it ready to go for our class. Send me the web address for your WordPress site, and we will get going on that. If you have any questions about it, please let me know. And I'm looking forward to seeing your work throughout the semester. I can't wait to see all the great things that you're going to do this semester. So look forward to working with you here. Let me know if you have questions about WordPress. Bye.